I just wanted to show you a site which has got development opportunity. I'm just about to secure it, okay? And it's a fantastic opportunity to take on a 4-bed house with 2 receptions, and next door to that a 3-bed house with 1 reception, and next door to that there is land with 2 garages, which, subject to planning, you can erect 3 or 4-bed house in that space. Yeah, so you're going to get all that from one vendor. Purchase price is £1 million pounds. Right now, what would I do? There are 3 opportunities. First one is HMO, 4-bed, HMO, 3-bed. That is a total of 5 plus 6, 11 rooms, plus if you erect another house, that's potentially 4 or 5 rooms there. So you're looking at about 15 rooms, giving you an income of about 110 per annum. You could do that, right? Or you could knock the whole thing down, opportunity number 2, and put up flats, subject to planning, of course, and that might be 6 to 8 flats according to my planning consultant, who you're going to meet in a moment. All right, and then you got the third opportunity. The third opportunity, of course, is to flip those 2 houses, the 4-bed and the 3-bed, and get planning to build another house and sell the land with planning. And of course, once you do the flip, you'll have to split the titles, and you'll make about £500,000 on that. What would you do? Right? Okay. Well, here's the opportunity. I'm going to show you. Have a look and put your comments in the box below, and like and subscribe, and give it the thumbs up if you're liking this, and I'll get some more content over to you soon. All right. Fazullah, property cash flow expert. See you on the inside.
Doesn't really matter because the person coming in is going to do the same.
I was just about
so you
to
probably
say,
help them a little bit.
literally, yeah. Bringing it down to bare bones actually makes life a bit more.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
We can see kind of the internal structure.
Correct. Yeah. But yeah, that's the story behind it.
Okay, cool. Right, so
This used to be the kitchen before.
got you. So that was living room, kitchen.
Dining.
You've got like a dining here.
Correct. Yeah.
So we could potentially maybe knock this wall down, have an open plan kitchen diner.
Absolutely. And you can make this a proper extension.
Yeah. See. So we had 2 options that we were potentially thinking of.
Yeah.
We had the one where we were to be able to do the side extension. However,
Yeah.
that might not be feasible just because of the proximity to the main road.
Yeah.
So the other alternative, so far as what I was explaining, was we've got a rear extension that's already been done. We could potentially build above this, so we could add another floor on top of this to add an additional room up at the top, which probably be the most realistic thing.
The double story rear extension, you mean?
Yes. Yeah. So 2-story rear extension. Oh, I don't know. This might be some asbestos actually.
Oh, yeah, everything needs to be.
Yeah, everything's gonna definitely need to be gutted out. We've got outside toilets as well.
Has somebody started work on in here?
Yeah, that's what I said. Well, they didn't start the work, they just started demolishing everything, removing everything. They didn't get as far as starting to do the proper work.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Now, the only thing I'm realizing now, because I can see the old kind of roofing that's been used, highly likely there's going to be asbestos. It means if we were to completely demolish, getting rid of materials is going to be a bit more tricky. It's going to be a bit more expensive because obviously we've got some asbestos roofing and things like that which need to have be taken care of when disposed of. So we have 2 options: gutting out completely and just rebuilding with what we have, or completely demolishing and rebuilding. Obviously, if we were to completely demolish and rebuild, then it would be easier to kind of work out flats if we were going to convert it to that. If we were just going to do maybe a fixer-upper type job where we maintain the maisonettes as is and then just convert the side garage and then do a 2-story extension here, then we could effectively just gut the rest of everything else out and then do our normal conversion. So
how many maisonettes do you reckon you'll be able to fit?
At a push 3, so we've got 2 now. We could either make because currently the 2 maisonettes, we've got a one quite small, maybe 1-2 bedroom, which we can convert into a decent sized 2 to 3 bedroom with the additional garage space. So keeping it as 2 maisonettes, but basically upping the value by adding more rooms.
Yeah, yeah.
Or if we can, which would be a bit more trickier, but if we could effectively extend a story up here, we may be able, once we go outside, we'll be able to have a look at how the maisonette split. But if this allows us to add an additional room to the top floor of the second maisonette as well, we may be able to push for free, because then what we could do is we could add an additional room to the current maisonette by extending upwards, but then we convert the garage side to add a whole new space and a whole new maisonette as well. If this was just a standard house, that would be under permitted development. We wouldn't even need to submit a planning application for. But because these are maisonettes, it's a bit more tricky. We know permitted development won't work. Submitting a planning application would be feasible, but we need to again have at least a 45-degree angle of privacy in the front of the property. So obviously, if we're going to build a story up, we need to make sure neighbours and things like that, you're not able to see into neighbours' gardens and vice versa, and vice versa. So I'll just take a quick measurement of that.
Yeah, of course.
What about the 3-bedroom flat rule? Does that apply here?
What was the 3-bedroom flat? Oh, that you need to have at least 1 3-bedroom. In this case, I wouldn't say so, just because it wasn't originally a 3-bedroom. I think it's originally a 4-bedroom. If I'm correct.
Yeah, well, the loft is kind of a bedroom.
It's kind of a bedroom.
We're going to go up and stay upstairs.
Okay, cool. So in that case, I don't think that would be, it wouldn't be necessary. If we were going for a multiple flats though, we may need to have a 3-bed flat in there as well, which we probably would have on the ground floor.
You need some parking as well for that if you're going to.
You would need parking for that as well. So
we've got side entrance for that, haven't we?
Yes. So basically, I think so. Just from having a quick look, I think we have about 5 meters in the front there.
Yeah.
We need at least 5 to 5.5 meters to guarantee we can still have a driveway, even if we convert the garages.
Right.
Because then we can just drop the curb, open up the fence, so you can have a nice driveway and you can park 2 cars in there. So yeah, let's
right. Okay.
Look
Yeah. So yeah. Sure.
Quick look at the
Sure. Let's have a look just through here.
We can have a look at the garden on the outside.
Okay, cool. So guys, we can come around this way. I'm seeing that it's kind of at a bit of an angle, so we're kind of facing this way a little bit. Yeah. So we're kind of facing this way a little bit. Okay. Hopefully, we're not having too much exposure to the neighbour's garden over there, but we'll have a look once we. Good brickwork, though.
Yeah, it's solid. Did you want to have a look in here as well? In here, or did you see everything there?
Oh yeah, I pretty much saw everything. Is this additional like toilet?
This is just from where we saw it from.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then you can see the shadow.
This actually already stands down here. Well, yeah, this is going to need to be definitely gutted out. And, the whole floor here is going to need to be re-leveled. So, to be fair, we're going to need to, even if we do keep the structure of the actual house, we're probably going to need to demolish the extension and redo it anyway, because we haven't even got level floor in here.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, this was. We might have some plumbing up here, though.
It's definitely plumbing there.
Yeah. Okay. That's actually really good, because.
So this was originally a bedroom and a bathroom.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Bathroom was in here, bedroom.
Correct.
Yeah.
All the plumbing here.
Two double
That's
bedrooms.
right, Mr. Wong. What was that?
You want a light?
No, that's fine. That's fine. You mean for upstairs?
Upstairs.
Okay. Okay.
Master bedroom, maybe? Master bedroom.
Correct. Yeah. Well, this is kind of the master bedroom so because they had another suite. This is a 3rd bedroom, and this is a 2nd. So there was a wall here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a wall from there to there. Yeah.
We've
Correct.
got the
Yeah.
small box room here.
Yeah.
Okay. Always
It's a lovely
got
window
one
that
small
is.
box. Oh, yeah. Really nice.
Yeah. Most of it.
That's got character.
Yeah. Exactly. You need to look at the positive.
Absolutely.
No, but it's lovely because you can replace that with a more new window.
Yeah.
Not a lot of houses that have that.
That's really true.
Window.
It's really cool. I like that. I like that.
So what was the background behind this? Was this actually sold at once upon a time?
No, it's never been sold. No. It's just
What was
in
it?
the family.
So if it's been kept in the family, what was their thinking? What were
Their
they?
thinking was just to refurbish everything.
Okay.
That's it. And then either for the mother to move in again or potentially just sell it. But then, they start to do all the work and then,
Then left it halfway out.
Was they run out of money? Have they?
well, either or, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea, Adam, on this road? Just if we were to just potentially, let's say, just fix this up, bring it to kind of current standard, what it could
As
potentially
two
go for?
houses, you mean?
As two maisonettes, just
Maisonettes or houses?
Maisonettes. So,
Oh,
it's two
okay, so
so
flats.
basically, if we were to just restore this as is,
Yeah.
to bring it back up to
Because
standard.
it's currently one house under two titles.
Got you.
But I
Yeah.
will split the title to make it two houses instead of two maisonettes. Because maisonettes is obviously flats, right?
Yeah,
With their own
yeah.
front door without no communal garden.
Mhm.
So in that case, I would just split the title into two houses, two freehold houses.
Makes sense.
Okay? And if you would just refurbish this as it is, and you will have that extra bedroom upstairs, this would also be a semi-detached house then.
Yeah.
You probably, I mean, I've just sold a terrace house on Phyllis Avenue, which is the parallel road, one or two down here, and that we sold for 835,
835.
and that was a 4-bedroom terrace house with a
Okay.
nice extension in the back and the loft done.
Nice.
4-bed, 2-bath,
That would be
and that was
similar.
terraced house.
Got you. Fair. Okay.
And
So was that semi?
what was that?
Was that semi?
No,
No,
terrace.
terrace.
Oh, terrace, you said, okay, right.
Oh,
right.
They
So
share a wall with their
this will be a
neighbour
benefit because it's semi.
Okay.
Because you're not, this side of the house isn't sharing a wall with your neighbour, basically.
Gotcha.
That's your standard
Yeah.
house.
So you'll probably be able to sell this from anywhere between 850 to 900 for sure, depending how the market is when you've done up everything.
And this is currently 3-bed.
Well, it's 3-bed plus the loft, right?
3-bed plus the
So
loft.
it's up to you if you want to count that or not.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then the second house is the 1-bedroom.
It's kind of like a 1-bed, yes.
Yeah. So if we were to convert that, let's say we were to convert the garage space, so we converted it into and added another bedroom, potentially 2 bedrooms.
A bedroom, okay, 4
So
beds.
yeah, so imagine we've converted the garage,
Yeah.
knocked that wall through, so
Yeah.
now that's another additional bedroom for the 1 bed. So it's now a 2-bedroom,
Yeah.
semi-detached.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'll probably try to maybe go up in the loft on the other one as well. You know,
Okay.
do you see what I mean?
Yeah, we'll go into the other
Yeah,
one.
we'll go on when we have
Because if we
another
can go
chat.
up in the loft, that would be great. Because again, on the permitted development allows us to do that as well.
The best thing with
Fantastic.
the loft is going to come from it is potentially if you can add like a double story side extension, maybe create another house or another couple of flats. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're the expert in the area, so you know
Yeah.
more about that if it's possible or not.
What I would need to do to find out how feasible it is, because what you just mentioned something really cool. Because splitting the titles will mean we'll have 2 semi-detached houses,
Exactly, yeah.
which then under permitted development would mean we could do a side extension.
Do you
to
reckon
be
you
honest,
can, do you reckon you can fit another house next to
Oh,
the
100%.
garages? Because
100%.
the width of the garages is actually wider than the other houses.
Yeah, so basically under PD, we can extend as long as we don't increase the width of the existing building. So that means if we can extend backwards in the garage and up, we can easily add a whole another potential 2 to 3 bedroom house there. It's just whether we'll be able to do that. Now, what I could do is I can arrange a meeting with building control and just have a quick word and see if to basically give them the idea of this is what we're looking to do and see if it's feasible.
Yeah.
The council are a nightmare. They're never going to give you a concrete kind of answer, but they will point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
So maybe I think that would be the best bet to see if we can maximize in the best kind of situation, get an additional house. Worst case situation, we split the deeds to have 2 semi-detached houses, but then instead of the second one being a 1-bed, we could potentially make it a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom,
Because
something like that.
Because if you're just going to sell it as refurbish this and the other one, it's not going to be much profit in it, and it doesn't make sense to pay the £1 million or close to it.
Makes sense.
So
yeah.
where mainly the profit is going to be is either to try to convert it to 5-6 flats, which was going to be a GDV of about 2.1 million, or you potentially be able to create another house on the side.
So now to convert to 5 to 6 flats, again very feasible because we've already got a 3-story house but here effectively. But the only thing is demolition. Now again, permit development allows us to demolish, but because we have asbestos and things like that in the roofing, it's going to be more expensive to demolish. We would say like a normal 3-bedroom house normally costs anywhere between 18 and 23k to demolish. Maybe a little dearer than that just because of the materials that will need to be disposed of as well, so we need to factor that in.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's not feasible. It doesn't mean it's not doable.
Yeah, no, as I said, it's up to you guys where you can see the margin the most. But we've got another offer on the table, and that's the options they're looking at.
Got you. Okay.
What was the offer for?
So obviously it's on for $1 million. I can't disclose what the offer is, but yeah, it's a good offer that the seller is definitely considering. But he wanted to get you guys in first before he makes a decision.
Okay.
Did that have an 8 in front of it or a 9 in front of it, that offer?
I can't tell you.
Good
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool. I mean, I don't know if there's any point.
So if we we've got two houses. One's obviously a half, and this is the 4-bed. So if we did 2 flats on the ground floor, and then we did 2 flats on the floor above, right? That gives us 4 flats, right? And then we do 2 flats there, 1 above and 1 below. That'll make it 6, right?
That will make it 6, yes.
Yeah, but can we do more than 6? Is there a possibility to do 2 on the ground or 2 on the up?
So then this is the thing. If we're able to change the deeds to make it so that they're semi-detached houses, under that we'll be able to extend the rear of the garages as well. So we could extend backwards and upwards, meaning we can add potentially another 2 to 4 flats. If we can't do that though, because these are maisonettes, meaning we can't do the rear extension, we can't extend up, then we might be able to just extend in the rear and add an additional 2 flats. Does that make sense?
Right, so it's either 6 or possibly 8. 8 is a question mark.
Potentially, I would say more around the 6 mark.
I was about to say,
Yeah, I would probably say more around the 5 to 6 mark, guaranteed for sure.
Yeah.
But you have to keep in mind as well, sorry to interrupt you, usually this council requires you to have some kind of parking, 2 or 3 parking slots. I've just sold another bungalow to another investor who's built 11 flats on that.
Yeah.
So I got one hell of a deal.
Nice.
And he needed parking for that.
Okay.
But yeah, we sold that for just over $1 million to him, who built 11 flats alright.
Nice.
We sold
Okay.
flats right now.
So let's say we went with the 6, or the question mark on the 8, but let's say we went with the 6, right? Would we have enough space between the garage and the end of the boundary so that we can walk, there's a pathway for a car to drive down the side,
So
on the back?
that's what we need to. So when we go back downstairs, I'll double check we have enough space there. We need at least 5.5 meters.
Right.
Well, between the garage and the alleyway is not going to be possible.
That's not going to be possible.
We have a look.
Driveway in front. What I'm thinking of is having a driveway in front of where the garages currently are. I think that would potentially be the most feasible thing. But we'll have a look.
But it would do, if it is possible, hypothetically speaking, could we then build out the back?
So my only concern with the back is because of the way we're positioned, it looks like we're kind of at a little bit of an angle. So I don't know if we'll be peering into the neighbour's garden. Again, once we go into the second property, we'll be able to kind of see that a bit more clearer. But you know how you can see that we're kind of going this way with it, so you can imagine we're looking straight into those gardens on this side.
Yeah.
So we'll take that into account once we're able to go to the next property.
Go up and have a quick look.
Yes, please. Okay.
So this is the lofty area.
This would be the 4th bedroom.
Right, yeah. Effectively.
In this part of the semi-detached.
Right. If we did a HMO, could we get an ensuite up here?
Let's see. I
That is
don't see why
something I
not.
would consider as well. Just trying to create as many bedrooms as possible and create a HMO.
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Shall we go inside here first? Thank you very much. Check that.
Hello.
All right.
Hi. You alright?
Yeah.
Good.
It's kind of hard to picture looking at just the drawings.
Yeah,
But seeing this
cool.
makes a whole lot more sense.
This is kind of the living room, kitchen, and dining, obviously. So then you have a bathroom in there.
Toilet. So I'm guessing, was this blocked off before? So we would have a wall here?
Yeah.
I don't think you would have just a toilet in the
No.
room. Yeah. Cool.
No, I actually think the toilet is supposed to go in there.
Ah,
Do
okay.
you see what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
The
of
way the
course. It's
pros
not,
are
it's
doing,
not
yeah.
actually good.
Correct.
What's
Yeah,
it called?
yeah,
Down. Okay, fair. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, for sure, loft conversion and
Yeah.
this one. Yeah, just have a quick look.
So they're going to block this off, right?
No, so the toilet is just put there, it's supposed to be into the bathroom.
Oh, it's in the
You see
inside.
what I mean?
Okay.
So you actually have this space. Probably can put a small dining table there or something maybe. And then you
Yeah.
push that off to have some storage. And then you have this as a dining area.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, a living room.
And then we have that garage wall. Alright, so the garage wall is about here.
On the unit there.
Unless you build another unit, exactly. Open this up so you have access to the garage, unless we build another unit. And extend backwards.
And then this will be like a mid-terrace house.
Yeah,
And then the other one will be an end of terrace.
exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly that, yeah.
And then you have 3 houses.
So
Now,
we
if you can get planning for that, you're winning.
yeah, so we could mirror this type of design, this type of build for that house here.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like the same kind of layout.
However, this is 4 meters, yeah? I think about that. The other one is just under 6, the width of the
That's
garage.
so crazy that the garages are bigger than
Yeah.
the property here. Okay, let's have a look upstairs.
Hey, but if they have a bathroom downstairs as well,
Don't really need it.
exactly. Obviously, preference is always to have bathroom upstairs than downstairs. It's a bit more popular with buyers.
Yes, absolutely.
But if you can be able to go up in the loft to put the staircase in one way, you create that around the bedroom.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
I would knock through this wall to open up this room, and then maybe stick the ensuite here. But we also got this room here. We've got the loft coming. The loft. There's a workaround here for sure.
It's so much things to do.
Yeah. You could easily have your ensuite here.
Yeah, so this would be a big room, wouldn't it? Once you knock it through and put ensuite here.
Exactly. Exactly. And then you've got another room here. Potentially even move the bathroom into this corner and have this as the main room. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on here.
Well, that wall through there is a stud, is it?
Say again.
The wall. Is it a stud, is it? This wall here? Oh yeah, that coming up through,
That
yeah.
can easily be knocked down.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
The loft here, so can convert up straight up into the loft is probably what I would do. So we have another set of stairs here. I can take you up into the loft and then I can potentially do another room as well. So
If the staircase is not enough, maybe you can move the wall a little bit more closer to here so you can have a proper staircase. Because this is a big room enough for
yeah, it's a lot of room here, which is really cool. Okay.
It's a bubble shop as well. That we sold for just under 475.
Wow.
It was a 2/3 bedroom split level masonette, yeah.
Oh wow, it's amazing. Okay.
When did you sell that?
Just end of last year.
Oh, last year, okay.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was a nice flat, don't get me wrong. Yeah.
And this, so let's say this is what, 2 bedroom flat, over 2 stories, this specific section. How much do you think if this was done up to full size?
Oh, just as a house, you mean?
Just as a house?
Yeah. As a 2-bedroom. I mean, 2-bedroom houses on this road without doing the loft.
Yeah.
Because of the size, you're probably looking at 500 maybe,
Wow.
450 to 500.
I see what you're saying. So if
Definitely more than 450. I would say more closer to
we're
500.
close to 500, and that's not including doing the loft. So if we were to do the loft,
Just refurbish everything here. And it all depends if you're building another unit here or not, because it's going to depend if this is going to be a semi or a terrace.
yeah.
If you're building another unit, this will obviously be a terrace.
Yeah.
But then obviously if you're just doing this as a semi, then you're not going to get as much profit because do you see what I mean? So I'll probably make it a terrace,
Yeah.
and if you sell as a terrace, it's probably more closer to between 450 to 500. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. I'm leaning more towards pushing to see if we can convert and get an additional maisonette from the garage space, so that this will be the terrace. We've got the end, and then 2.
You're going to the house? Or?
Another house.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. No, sorry.
I'm pushing towards that in the flats. I think that'll be a bit more, a little easier to potentially push through planning wise.
Or they try to create as many rooms as possible with a different unit here, rent as a HMO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking more for the passive income more than just a quick return.
And just a question on, is this area Article 4 by any chance?
If it's what?
Is this Article 4?
Article 4, do you mean Zone 4 or?
In C4?
Yeah, in this
From
area.
what I can see, no.
No.
I didn't
What
see
does that
any.
mean, Article 4?
Article 4 is some exemptions that the council have put in place. So
Okay.
permitted development and
Oh, you mean like that? Okay, yeah.
don't apply in Article 4 areas.
Okay.
But from what I've seen, I don't think C4 is. So we should be alright.
So we should be right then,
We
yeah.
should be alright in that respect. Yeah. It's literally just to make that the fact flats are made.
We could do, how many rooms here? 2, 3,
If we're going to convert to flats,
yeah.
I would probably say 6 flats in total with this space. At push is what we could potentially go for. 6 flats or 3 maisonettes.
3 maisonettes, yeah,
We
so
can convert the garage space.
how many rooms do you think we'd be able to get in here?
Bedrooms, at least 2 to 3 if we convert the loft. So I'm seeing we've got 1 in the back here, we have 1 up there. So 2 bedrooms, sorry. Loft, if we convert the loft and then convert this back room, knock that wall in, we could potentially have
Have
2. I
And,
would probably say
and if you sell them as an average of about 350 grand each, as an average for 1 beds and 2 beds, you will, it's a GDP on about 2.1, and that is with 6 flats.
that's with 6 flats, right? Okay, got you. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, so the 3 houses having the more HMO is an option as well, right?
Yes, so that would be a case of just doing them up, bringing them back to standard, and then obviously you're renting out per room.
So you've got 6 rooms there, 3 rooms there, 9. Next door we have 4 rooms.
4 rooms potentially.
So we could have 13 rooms.
Once the garages are converted, yeah. Something like that.
Okay. Because they've got a communal downstairs, so we could have 3 rooms here potentially if we went up.
That's what you're saying, because you could have this as a bedroom.
A bedroom,
How
yeah.
many rooms do you reckon you can get through?
13.
13.
4
Okay.
next door,
Yeah.
3 here,
Yeah.
6 next door.
And rooms around here rent between 600 and 700,
Yeah.
depending on the quality.
Yeah.
So that's just 650. You get an income a year of about just over 100 grand,
Yeah,
which is not a bad return.
yeah. That's not bad at all, yeah. That's an option there as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so that's HMO, and if we was to sell this, if we went into the loft, how much would we get for it?
If you go up in the loft as well and create another bedroom. So 3-bedroom, once again depends if it's a terrace or semi, but let's go with terrace in case you build another unit on the side, which I think you should do. Terrace houses are going between 600 to 650, depending on the quality.
Would this be a masonette though, or would it be a
No, so-
terraced house?
Masonette is obviously a flat, right?
Right.
Masonette is something that you don't have to go through a communal
Fine,
area.
okay.
So
You have your
this-
own entrance.
yeah.
It's over 2 feet.
So this would be a house, right, okay. Yeah, sure.
It's currently sold as a detached house in a way,
Yeah.
but it's done up to a semi-detached house. But on the title, it's a detached house.
Right, okay. Okay.
So it's sold under one title.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm super clear.
Okay, and that one's done up, end value, what are you looking
That
at?
would be an end of terrace house. So if you do up the loft and everything, you're probably looking at around 800, 850.
Okay, so 8 plus 6,
8 plus 6.
what do you reckon was the one on the side?
That one on the side, because that's going to be wider.
Yeah,
So it depends on how big it's going to be as well, right?
Yeah.
How big you're able to push back before it's
Yeah.
getting too close to the other one. But if you get that one to become about 1,200 square foot, I don't know if that's too generous or not, but around that figure, you probably can be able to sell that once again. Is that 3-bed then, or 2-bed?
Probably 3.
3.
3-bed?
Yeah.
Once again, you probably get it to about 650, 700.
So that brings it, those 3 then, GDV brings it to about 2.1 anyway, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly that. So basically,
So the same.
if you convert into flats or adding additional it should work out to be around the same amount. I would just need to double check the garage.
Obviously, the preference will be the houses then, right? Because it's easier to sell houses than it is flats, and it's less headache for you guys as well.
Well, flats we have to create individual leases as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, let's think about that.
something to think about there, exactly.
Let me just measure this bit outside here.
I think the width of one garage is about 2.9 times 2, so just under 6 meters. Well, this is just over 4, I think.
Yeah.
You're getting that right. Is that right, Jack?
Okay, so just looking at the side here, again, if we have this weird corner situation going on, how far back can you go is the other question. So, I thought we may be very small one, so not extend all the way to kind of level it off with the rear of the house.
Because you want to have an alleyway on the side.
Exactly that. So if where you and Faz are standing, stay there, we could potentially maybe extend to like here. Maybe.
And
And
then
again,
on top of this as well.
exactly
You get
that.
the same height as the house.
Exactly that.
Because
Yeah.
that should be fine with the neighbours, right? Because we already got there. It's just that
Exactly that. Yeah. And also, if we have only other thing is garden space. Garden space,
it had to be a small patio.
yeah. If we had like a small patio, that's just going like that towards the garden, this is all gonna go anyway.
But you don't have to have an alleyway on the side, do you?
You don't have to, no. You don't necessarily
Because
have to.
that one is going to be a terrace house. The last one I think already have an alleyway. I think maybe. But the terrace house in the middle, they usually don't have alleyways anyway inside.
Yeah, no, for real. That's a very fair point. So I mean, I would want to double check to make sure we can extend backwards here and upwards. If we do get permission from the councillor, happy days, because we can literally mirror what we've got internally already. Just kind of level this off, bring it back a little bit, and then we've got all of this space to work with. So this will actually be a bigger property, as Adam said, than the middle property.
Because
as well.
that at the back doesn't belong to that house. That belongs to the one on the right hand side.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So really,
Okay,
the
so
other
we
house
can
that we
extend
looked
up
at
to
is just this here.
Yeah. So this is where I'm standing is about 4 meters.
Can we do a 4-bed then?
Here,
Yeah.
I would think so. I think so. 3 to 4 bed.
So that'll take the GDV up by what, another 100k or so?
Potentially, but that's if we can extend. It depends on how far we'll be able to extend back here. I would definitely
And
want to follow
sometimes it's better, if you're selling as a house, sometimes it's better to sell it as a big 3-bedroom instead of a small 4-bedroom. You know, so it's important to look at the space that you can get.
Yeah.
More than just trying to squeeze as many bedrooms as possible.
Even if we were to do it as a 3-bed with the possibility of extending to the loft later, that way you can extend to a 4-bedroom at a later date if you wanted to.
Exactly.
But then you would have the 3-bed and then you've got your loft on top as well. Okay.
Or 3-bed, 2-bath, or you can squeeze in 4-bed with 2-bath, but then the rooms are going to be a lot smaller, so it depends how big you can get the rooms.
Yeah.
But I can advise you guys on that as well, based on when you draw up the drawings.
Sure.
You can let me know.
Sure. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So with this flat scenario, you know, we said 6 is probably where we're looking. Now that we've seen the outside, is there any scope to add 1 or 2 more?
I think 6 is what we would get at a push, to be honest.
Okay.
Pushing for 8 could be feasible, but I mean, could be possible, but not feasible. But with this space here, I mean, if we were to just build on top of this, and look, we have 2 flats here, 2 flats there, 2 flats there, very straightforward, easy to understand, easy to draw up, and easy to show the council kind of what we're trying to do. If we start trying to kind of move things around to add another 2-3 flats, it may look quite congested. Might not. I don't think that would potentially work.
Right.
Because then we've also got the 2-story extension here, though, to be fair. So I'm thinking we could obviously
You
this
can
already,
add that to that house, or
Correct.
it can be for the other house.
correct. Yeah. So we can we can definitely add an additional room for this side of the house here.
Is that a shed that we went into where it was a...
Yeah. So this, I believe, is the shed.
No, but do you remember we went in that house where it was not leveled out with the flooring?
Oh yeah.
Is that one? Yeah.
I believe that's this one.
Yeah. Yeah, because that obviously doesn't belong to that.
What doesn't belong to that?
So can you see the outbuilding?
Oh yeah.
That obviously doesn't belong to this house. It looks like it does.
Okay.
That belongs to the first house we went into.
Okay.
So that is a wrapped around. So
Right.
you might want to exclude that from the first house that we went into and maybe add it to that, so that one becomes bigger.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So basically this will then be the rear extension for the second, for the middle house.
Yeah.
So we can add more rooms to that house that way.
Yeah.
So effectively just make each side of the extension fit for each house.
Yeah.
I would knock this back a little bit so that we can extend this back here as well.
And then you even out the sizes for the houses as well, instead of one being massive and the other one squeezing out.
Correct, exactly.
Yeah.
And then also the smaller bedroom we put there, we can now add a little walkway into another bedroom here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So we can definitely add an addition. So that then makes this into a 2 to 3 bedroom potentially as well. So we'd have 4, 3, potentially another 4 here. 3 to 4 bedroom as well.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be bad. 650 a piece. 650, 700 a piece. Wouldn't be bad.
As I said, I have so many comps around here. As I said, I have two 4-bedrooms on Phyllis Avenue, which is literally just a parallel road to here. One is selling in bad condition, which is done a loft, no extension in the back, just a small galley kitchen.
Nice.
That we're selling for $730.